Sunday morning, Clarence Bunsen stepped into the shower and turned on the water, which was cold, but he's Norwegian, he knows you have to take what you get, and stood there until it got warm, and was reaching for the soap when he thought for sure he was having a heart attack. He'd read a Reader's Digest story about a man's heart attack, my most unforgettable experience, and he felt like the one in the story, chest pain like a steel band tightening. Clarence grabbed the nozzle of the shower as the rest of the story flashed before his eyes. The ride in the ambulance, the dash to the emergency room, unconsciousness as the heart team worked over him, the long, slow recovery, and the discovery of a new set of values. But as he imagined what was about to happen, the heart attack petered out on him. The story said it felt like an elephant stepping on you, but this was more like a big dog, and then somebody whistled and the dog left. So it wasn't a heart attack. There was no story, and Clarence felt better. It wasn't a heart attack, but for 10 or 15 seconds it could have been one, and in the depths of his heart he thought it was. So in a way it was. When you believe you're dying, 10 or 15 seconds is like a lifetime. And when the false attack was over, he nonetheless felt he sort of had a new set of values. I mean, for one thing, he wasn't sure he should waste time taking a shower, life being so short. Having come so close to death in the sense that when death comes, it might come exactly like this. It was Sunday morning, but he wasn't sure he wanted to go to church and sit through a sermon, life being so short. I mean, if you knew you had 20 minutes to live, then church should be the place you'd head to first. He thought instead of going to church, he'd like to go for a walk. Good for his heart. And worship God in the singing of birds, the sunshine, green grass, and flowers, which this being Minnesota we don't have yet. He thought life is short, so you should do something different. He dried off his old body and was putting on underwear. Maybe life being short, you ought to get new underwear. But what can an old man wear except boxer shorts? You can't go around in those bikini things you see in stores. What if a robber with a gun forced you to strip down to your underwear? Hey, you old guy, hear me? I said strip. And there you be, an old geezer in tiny purplish briefs. Robert, take one look. Hey, man, you are ridiculous. Bam, you're dead. Dead because you did things different because life is short. Arlene called up the stairs. It's almost 9:30. He wanted to yell back that he was feeling delicate for what he thought at the time was a heart attack. But it's hard to yell anything so vague. So he yelled, "Be there in a minute." And in not many minutes, he appeared in the kitchen in full Sunday regalia. Brown suit, black shoes, white shirt, and one flash of color, the tiny red specks in his dark blue tie. He poured himself a cup of coffee, drank some, then kissed his wife, in that order, he is Norwegian, and looked into the frying pan on the stove and saw food that, whenever you read about cardiovascular disease, you read about that stuff. So he put a pan of water on to boil for oatmeal. Arlene watched, spatula in hand. "What's the matter?" "Breakfast is ready. I got your eggs." Hard to explain a semi-heart attack. A heart that wasn't attacked, but heard footsteps in the weeds. "I don't feel like making eggs this morning." "Well, I guess I'll have to throw them out then." "Yep." "You feeling all right? Are you sick?" He's Norwegian. He said, "No, I am just fine." A Norwegian's dying words, "I'm just fine." Church was half full and restless. Pastor Ingvist's Lenten sermons have gotten longer. Val Tollefson has been after him to liven up his preaching. Sunday morning before church, Val tunes in to Power for Tomorrow on TV from the Turquoise Temple in Anaheim. And there's a gleam in Reverend Lacoste's eye that Val wishes Pastor Ingvist would emulate, and also use more dramatic inflection, rising, falling, dramatic inflection, cry out sometimes, long pauses to give solemnity to the sermon. Clarence checked out of Pastor Inkvist's sermon early. It was about the parable of the laborers in the vineyard, the ones who came late getting the same wage as those who came early and stayed all day. A parable that suggests you need not listen carefully to the whole sermon from the beginning, but you can maybe come in for the last sentence or two and get the whole point. Clarence's mind drifted away to other things until suddenly he was startled by his own heavy breathing. He opened his eyes. The sermon wasn't over, it was only a long pause. The pastor's inflection suggested he was coming toward the end, and the offering was next. Clarence eased his wallet out and saw he had no cash. He got out a pen and hid the checkbook in his Bible and quietly scratched out a check for $30, more than usual because he had almost had a heart attack. He wrote surreptitiously, trying to keep his eyes up and ahead, knowing you're not supposed to write checks in church. It's not a grocery store. He glanced to the right, and Mrs. Val Tollefson was glaring at him. She thought he was writing in the Bible. In the old Norwegian synod, you didn't write in a Bible, not even little comments in the margin like good verse, or you can say that again. Because every word in the Bible is true, you shouldn't add any that might not be true, not even in pencil, because it undermines the authority of Scripture. Meanwhile, the sermon ended, and Pastor Inkvist launched into prayer. Clarence tried to tear the check quietly out of the checkbook. There's no worse sound in the sanctuary than a check ripping. His check wouldn't come quietly. The first half-inch rip sounded like plywood being torn from a wall. So he waited for the pastor to launch into a strong sentence of fervent prayer to cover up the check removal. But Pastor Inkvist was pausing at odd points, so Clarence couldn't tell when it was safe, or when suddenly he'd be ripping in the middle of pure holy silence. Clarence folded the check back and forth, until it almost fell off. Mrs. Tollefson was about to get up and snatch Scripture out of his hands. At prayer's end, as they said the Lord's Prayer, he eased the check out, and when Elmer passed the basket, Clarence laid down the check, folded neatly in half, and put it in the basket, and bowed his head. And suddenly realized he'd written it for $300. He had written with his eyes averted, and he knew he had written 300 on the short line and 300 on the long line. Could a man sneak downstairs after church and find the deacons counting the collection and say, "Hey, boys, there's been a mistake. I gave more than I really meant to give"? He now felt fully alive for the first time all day. He felt terrifically awake. He had given all he had in the checking account and a little more. What would they do until the end of the month to keep body and soul together? Maybe they'd have to eat beans and oatmeal. What's a man going to do? A man's got to live.